A campfire is a perfect metaphor for the arts. It's something that can energize a space, illuminate, and warm anyone who draws near, whether in celebration, in search of comfort, or just to hear a story. Whatever our reasons for leaning in, shared experiences like these can create connections, start conversations, and maybe even leave us changed for the better. ArtsATL started the Legacy Series to honor those who have made important and long-standing contributions to the city's arts and culture landscape. We see them as the kindling, the spark, and the flame. We thank them, and we couldn't imagine a world without them.
I have 8 siblings. There were 9 of us, but in reality there were 10 because I had a cousin that lived with us. I had 7 brothers and 1 sister. My father was an engineer and architect, and so we had a pretty nice house, and means my mother had help and all. But then he passed when I was about 11, and there were 5 of us younger, and life became a little different. I was very protected with 7 brothers, you know, but we had a happy life. We had a lot of music, and I always thought if I stayed at home, I would have never gotten married because they didn't let anybody near me. My husband was involved in so many other things. He was president of the Chamber of Commerce. He was NAACP the leader. He was the leader with Dr. King. And many times he thought that I should be. He encouraged me. I started coming to the Symphony as a volunteer. Ushering first so that I didn't have to pay for the tickets. Then my children studied music, and my youngest child played in the orchestra. She played violin, and even Nancy played clarinet and flute. There was no education program. And when we started asking what is it that is such a, not great participation in the youth symphony, for instance, they say that most blacks don't know how to audition. So I said, well, why not teach them? So then that's how talent development started. But we also, this committee originally was to try to increase the audience development. And so, because we thought that, when you see music played by a black person, you want to do what they are doing because they are examples and inspiration. But the mission was to try to increase the participation and that would reflect the population. Fortunately, we were able to attract other people other than just black people complaining. We were patient because it took us 3 years to convince that changes needed to be made. And as you see, when you look at the programs, you can see how the talent development that came later has gained respect. This is the first program of any performance, because the students were asked to perform once or twice a year, because this was one way that we could make the community aware of the program and encourage them to participate. When the program started, we were asked to raise the budget. So we raised, at that point, we raised over $100,000. When we approached the orchestra players at that time, they said, why do we have to do this? Because no one else is doing it in the country. And my response was that because this is Atlanta, and Atlanta is different, that we must do it. We must do it. And why do we have to do it? Because it's the right thing to do. So the opportunity is there for not just blacks, but Latinos as well. Success was that the students were serious about the music, that they studied, that they progressed, they made tremendous progress. How they stood and how they spoke and how they act, because we were there to nurture them, because all of that was part of it. That's the reward. That's the reward. Even if they don't say anything, and you see the progress, you see the accomplishments. That to me is my accomplishment as well. And I'm glad that my husband encouraged me to do this.